second semifinals.
That it is. Who do we have?
We have spawning in the bottom left here as we play Caster Chicken in the red, representing Kite the Gaming. He is Solar.
And his opponent, going for his trademark style, it is Dragon Phoenix Gaming's ZEST. And of course, what I'm referring to is that 13 Pylon hatch block. Every single ZVP, like clockwork, like mana, he is just like, I'm not letting you take that hatchery. And I gotta say, it is, I don't see a downside to it. I think it's really worthwhile. It is, you know, there are players who are like, yeah, no, I don't give a crap. And, yeah, well, when I say players, I mean it's Lambo. Lambo's like, no, it's fine. But almost every other Zerg on the planet is like, this is so annoying. And it's just, it's worth it to just throw them off their game.
I mean, you say that, but I think at this point, at least watching a lot of Korean Zergs, they go take the third base against Protoss players regardless of whether there's a probe out or not. It's just like, well, it's ZVP. I don't want to deal with it. I'm going to take my 16 hatch at my third base regardless of what's happening there. And yeah, is it slightly less efficient? Sure. Do I have to send my probe out at 110 minerals instead of 170 odd, 180? Yeah, so do I miss out on little mining there? I do. But it's a lot better than dealing with all the shenanigans. And at this point, Zerg players have learned that, okay, maybe you hold a couple, hold a couple drones until you get your Zerglings out, so the depths don't get annoying. Whatever the case may be. There are a couple different ways you look at that. And at this point, Zergs have just kind of figured it out. It's one of those things where it doesn't really make that much of a difference. Yeah, it's annoying, and I kind of hate to have it happen when I'm playing, for example, but you know, I don't play 30 games a day. I don't drill these things down into a science the way, say, Solar does.
Well, hang on. I take offense to that, because I do play 30 games a day, and I have never used science in my games. So, BeoMulf, I don't want you pushing your pro-science agenda, some kind of build order, air quotes, scenario. No, I am just going to fly by the seat of my pants and never learn the game.
Wait, Steadfast. If you're against science, then how in the world are you so for the new Pink Drip G Fuel? That is a scientifically generated thing to be the optimum levels of tastiness and gameriness that are going to fuel you on into those powerful gaming sessions to allow you to play 30 games a day, powered by science.
Well, you see, as a science denier, every so often something so magical comes along that it transcends the brand. And yeah, no, I can't go with that any further. I do not deny science. It's science exists. But yeah, no, seriously, G Fuel, great stuff, good stuff. You should get it. Get the new Pink Drip. Tastes like cotton candy and rainbows. And also, love from your parents and approval.
And winning StarCraft. Oh, these are the... Oh, man, they could have dove into the natural. I wish they'd done that, but they will get the probe. That's going to be really nice there. They're going to do it anyways. Okay, Solar. Okay, calm down.
I see you. I see what you're doing. You're looking good, son. You're looking absolutely on fire.
In Fuego, indeed. But not, of course, playing with Bly and Scarlet and Neve in the On Fire meme clan. That being said, you know, Steadfast, sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. So, is G Fuel science? That's not where that quote comes from, by the way. Oh, he's gonna get Okay, he's gonna get 3.
Solar just barely getting that down in time. He's gonna build 12 more lings, by the way. He is gonna go for oh no, he's gonna go for not dying to these adepts. I was like, wow, he's gonna try and go for another denial on this third hatchery. Still might, or third nexus, I should say.
Oh, that's an awkward. It's gonna take a lot of damage, yeah. Now, Steadfast, the question though is whether this third base will be more or less denied than your denial of science. Looks like less, as the third base is not going to be broken. I'm going to roll with this all night or all morning. Someone stop me. Zerglings, once again, they're going to look for that run by. Will be unsuccessful, but of course with the 2 adepts here, yeah, this third base is going to stay up, but it's late. Ideally, with this build, you get your third base at 350. This came out down at 410. So Zest, he's not going to have quite that economic efficiency, but also, this is not the build that you are thinking of. this is only a single Stargate, Zest is going to get into that ground tech a whole lot faster than he would with the double Stargate build. Doesn't mean less Void Rays, but on the flip side, it means there's going to be a really powerful potential for some sort of charged out Immortal Archon timing that we have seen players like Jo-Un throw out here and there.
Yeah, and we have Solar playing very greedy right here. No Spore in the natural. And gets punished for it a little bit. Loses 3 drones to that Oracle. Nice job from Zest to kind of recognize that. Go back in and check for it. And then punish Solar for not having that. And, well, Solar's going to go for a push with this. There's no way he doesn't, right? Like, he's got a lot of queens. He's cut at this drone count. No Evo chamber. This is kind of the Solar classic where you're just like, yeah, I just feel like being aggressive right now. I'm going to kill you. And opponent's like, well, okay. And Zest did go charge first, by the way.
Yeah, so again, charge Immortals. I believe there are no Mortals, but yeah, it's getting charged with that Archon, and that's going to be pretty nice for him here as a couple Zerglings are flooding across the map. These Archons should complete it once they're up, of course. Oh, no, that won't barely in time. Damn, nice timing there from Solar, or bad luck there from Zest, but yeah, you're talking about, I just want to go kill you right now. There are a bunch of queens doing their little waddle across the map. This is Juggernaut. It has speed zones. The queens love them some speed zones. It's almost like they're back on creep again. Ease those ailing joints.
Ease those ailing joints, like easing your thirst quenchingness. Oh, nice surround on the Archon. Oh, will slip out, but it does get taken down. Nice job from Solar. I was going to do a thing, but then I realized the game was happening. And nice dodge on that Corrosive Bile. Queens will show up, and Solar has a massive army supply lead. But there is a lot of static defense here.
Well, there's static defense, sure, but is there actual defense? That's the big question. There's, what, 1 Archon left, 1 Immortal, and those are powerful things, to be sure, but there's only 1 shield battery overcharge. It only lasts for so long, and it's not even going to matter. The pure shield unit is still going to get taken on down here, as it looks like Solar is crunching on in. Now, this is a bit interesting, of course, because this is a Queen Walk when there's, like, 1 Void Ray, so you don't really care about the Sky units all that much, and that does make this hold a little bit more possible for Zest. And honestly, the supply delta is shrinking. Right, we are seeing more and more Zealot Warpens on in here. Some of the Ravagers are starting to go down, but as I say that, there we go. The Warpen was spent, and now the supply delta, it's a lot scarier than it was. So now, the third base absolutely goes down here. Zest will lose the third base. The question, though, is whether he's going to be able to keep the natural and maybe kill off enough of these Roaches, enough Ravagers, that he can make some counterattack happen. It's not looking good, but that's like the one thing he's holding on for at this point.
Well, I gotta tell you, it feels like Zest did not have his G Fuel, and that Archon most certainly did not, because Solar is gonna take number 1.
He is the East, and Solar is the Sun. That was not the best way to use that quote. But anyways, Solar absolutely shining bright. We'll take game number 1. Just turning on those aggressive taps, saying, I have queens. Maybe I should walk them. Maybe they should do a little bit of waddle as they go across the map. Maybe, just maybe, Solar or Zest should be punished for thinking that he can exist in a game that Solar does.
Yeah. By the way, kind of a crazy scenario here, because we're looking at a situation. I was saying I could see this bracket ending in 4 hours. I actually may have overestimated, because we're only 2 hours and 40 minutes in, and we're looking at potentially going into the grand finals in the next, 10 minutes.
You know what? As much as I love lots of StarCraft, I'm not going to be complaining too hard, because, again, it's 3:40 in the morning right now. And thank you so much, Steadfast, for joining me. It's a lot easier to stay awake and stay engaged when you got a co-caster. So thank you for joining me on this adventure that we do call StarCraft 2.
My pleasure, my dude. Absolutely a fan of the cast with BeoMulf here. Join him, follow him on Twitch, twitch.tv/BeoMulf, and follow this man as he tries to make his way into the grand finals. Secure it in this game number 2. Representing Kites of Gaming, it is Solar.
And his opponent in the upper right, in the blue for Dragon Phoenix Gaming, the Protoss with a certain joie de vivre. He is Zest. I get it, because Zest for life. Joy of life. Anyway, my chat is asking me how many joints deep I am. but they felt the need to clarify it's not alien joints. I would like to counter that it's 3:40 in the morning, and any idea of filter is gone at this point.
And so, much like the side of a lemon, it is Zest.
We already introduced the player, Steadfast. You don't have to. You don't get to introduce him twice. Just have me. I'll do Solar next time if this goes to game 3. Then you can make some sort of citrus joke.
No, it's fine. I got it. I got it out of the way.
Got it out of your system.
Didn't need any more. Yep. Looking to flare up. It's Solar.
Okay, so is this game just gonna... We're not gonna cast this game. We're just gonna introduce the players for the entire game.
I'm down.
Just get as many dumb jokes out of our system. I mean, it's not gonna matter. It's a limitless font of dumb jokes. Because, you know, we're casters. We're full of that Vespine. We're full of hot air, you know. Anyway.
Absolutely. I'm just going to stare at this Overlord's booty right here, utilizing camera movement thanks to the new G Fuel pink drip.
Oh no, the insanity. It's the 340 insanity. You know, it's funny, actually, Steadfast. I wasn't feeling the tiredness at all. Because I'd done a really good job of messing up my sleep schedule before this event even started, which is, I guess, a blessing and a curse. But mentioning the fact that it's 3:40 in the morning reminded me that it's 3:40 in the morning, and that was a mistake. So it's like, you know, you're not hungry, and then someone mentions food, you're like, oh man, I'm starving. But with sleep. Anyways, ooh, Zest. That is not a warp gate into +1. No, that's just +1. This is the build that MaxPax used in the previous, far previous series, and realistically, it should have worked. Unfortunately, well, MaxPax ping. But I wonder whether this is Zest scouting this, having watched the game, because of course this was broadcast, and realizing that, hey, Solar kind of looked like he died to that. Now, Solar did win, but Zest is saying, look, I think the build was not the problem. I think I can execute this well enough, and I wonder if that's what's telling him to go for this build.
I think there's a really good chance of that. Of course, Zest is a big fan of watching my stream. He's constantly in here praising me, saying, you know, you're the best caster I've ever seen, you know, and all kinds of stuff like that, pointing out all the builds for him. I give him lots of tips and tricks. And, you know, that's kind of the reason for his success. I don't want to take too much away from him, but, you know, I've played a factor is a good... No, obviously, that is Zest just doing his own research, figuring things out. Very smart player, very innovative player, and not afraid to steal a build from somebody else and refine it even better. And, well, we are going to see this very fast. Oh, sub 4 minutes. Yes, 3:59. Just in before the buzzer, like me doing my taxes.
Absolutely. Now, it's kind of, you talking about this, and Steadfast, or Zest not, or very interested in bringing in new builds. I want to say Zest was one of the first players to actually bring on in the MaxPax build. I mean, Parting was #1 because Parting says, I can be aggressive in some way. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Right? But I want to say Zest was one of the first players, other than Parting, that really brought the MaxPax build over to the Korean scene. And this is not what I thought it was. We have +1 Phoenix on the way. We're going to see double Stargate Phoenix on out here. And this is, funny enough, Zest who did this? I cast a game like this recently. And I forget who it was. I cast a ZVP like this recently. And it didn't work out all that well.
Zest, there was one on NA where I think it was Jim Rising versus Zerg from South America. And he did like a Hatch Tech Queen pull all in, which is actually potentially... Oh, that's what Solar's going for. Yeah, Solar's... He might be blind countering this, actually, against the Mass Phoenix. Zest did this and actually beat Raynor with it, with this very quick Phoenix play, making it look like double Stargate Void Ray. But, yeah, Mass Queen against this on Hatch Tech can be really, really powerful.
And look at this, Zest is moving across the map with only 3 Phoenixes. Generally, you would expect he's going to pool more, but that doesn't mean these 3 Phoenix are vulnerable. They can maybe take some hull damage. But Steadfast, a great man once said, if your opponent's doing something interesting, just go kill him. And I think you're right. I think that's exactly what we're going to see Solar go attempt to do here, because, I mean, Phoenix, they don't fight this army that Solar is building. They do harass well. Absolutely, and they do all this other stuff. They'll be able to knock down a bunch of drones, maybe supply block Solar, but... It's a bunch of Phoenix against Queen Roach Ravager. Queen Roach Ravager Ling. I don't really have a lot of confidence in... Well, actually, if they can find some queens like they can on the right-hand side, but nice transfuses from Solar should be able to keep that alive, and I would like to... There we go. He should be able to target that Phoenix down. No, it's going to stay alive. A little bit of mistargeting there. Unfortunately, of course, Solar, he started off targeting down just the Phoenix ball and then started targeting down the individual one. But now the queens, they be walking.
That they do. And BeoMulf, you know, I don't know why. You should definitely have confidence. You are a smart, handsome individual, and yeah, you're good at a lot of things. So you should definitely have confidence.
Did I say something
these
about
overlords should not. Yeah, you were like, I don't have confidence, and then you changed your train of thought. So it was like, you're obviously going to say, I don't have confidence in his ability to hold. But I'm just having some fun here. Force field will come down, but the corrosive vials. Oh, they're going to actually hit the shield battery.
Okay, I thought that was a sentry. I was like, wow, the sentry didn't dodge, but now the Phoenix are going to try to go on in here. And one of the big downsides with going for Phoenix here, trying to make the hold, is Ravagers. They just pile down whatever Phoenix has decided to lift, and that's a bit of a problem. Zerglings are going to come flooding on in, and I don't know of a unit that is worse against Zerglings than a Phoenix. Because, in all honesty, I mean, the Phoenix, what are you going to do? Lift a single Zergling? It's not really going to work on out here. So we do have Solar. He's punching on in, but if we look at the supplies, it's only a 20 supply lead, only a 30-odd supply lead here for Solar. So maybe there's going to be something on in here, as we do have Void Rays piling on in here to make the hold up maybe a little bit more palatable. But look at these. Oh, the vials. They're going to get 6 workers. And now, well, it's just going to be a bunch of probes hiding behind the mineral line. The natural should go down. But what I'm worried about here is Solar getting enough damage to actively kill the game, because you got to remember the third base is still mining, right? The third base has been untouched. And the Queens, well, anything behind the Queens is never getting up into that main base. So it's actually starting to look like Zest is kind of holding here. Tongue in cheek.
I don't think so. Charge will finish up, and there is +1 attack. That's going to help a lot, actually. Zest picking the perfect moment to fight. Never mind. I was just going to say it looks over, but no, Zest picking his moment absolutely perfectly, and Solar is going to get cleaned up here. What an amazing decision from Zest right there, and the charge loss will absolutely shut this down so hard. Solar did drone up a little bit behind this, but he was very, very committed with this. No, did he drone up? No, he didn't. What am I saying? No, yeah, he must have added like 4 or 5 drones. But yeah, he's super dead right now.
Yep. So Steadfast, what you're saying is I was right and you were wrong. Take it.
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
Now, interestingly, we do have, instead of going into +1 attack or +2 attack, we have +1 armor on the way here for our army, and that's that's really weird. You would either expect to see +2 attack, or maybe +1 shields because you're going on into Archons, but we don't see any of that. We just see +1 armor on the way. Again, I'm really surprised that that's going to be the tech path of choice, but now 3 Archons are going to be on the way. And Solar, he says, look, I almost kind of broke you in game number 1. Time to bring more queens. He's going on in for game number 2, or for push number 2, and maybe, just maybe, this is going to be what breaks our Korean, or our Dragon Phoenix Gaming Protoss player. But the wall's back up. There's +1 now on both the air and the ground. Charge is done. We have Archons here. I have even less confidence than I did 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, this is going to be insanely difficult. The corrosive vials would have to land very, very big. First one does clip the Void Rays, but it doesn't even take the well, it takes the shields down, and that's it. Huge flank coming in here from Zest. Zealots on top of Queens, doing fantastic. The lifts on the Queens as well, helping out so much. And Solar will get knocked out. Zest is going to send it to game number 3.
Steadfast, you had me worried. You said Solar was going to get knocked out. I'm like, wait, is my score wrong? Like, did Solar not win game 1? But no, Solar's going to lose the game, not the series. Fear not, gentle folk at home. We have a game 3 coming on up.
That we do. And we will be getting into the lobby very shortly here.
I don't want to. I don't want to be in lobbies. Steadfast, I'm tired of lobbies. Those are indoors. That's not really socially distancing. There are too many people in this lobby. I think we need to play StarCraft outdoors. I think we need to have nice... I think we need to do away with lobbies as an idea. I think we need to do nice, spread out StarCraft gatherings, not go into lobbies anymore. I have no idea where I'm going with this. It's 4 in the morning. Please help me.
Help. Yeah. Yep, agreed. Agreed, it is 4 in the morning. Everyone could use a little help. I get by with a little help from my friends. And, well, we're heading to game number 3. And at most, we're looking at 6 more games. And at least 4 more. You decide how many more.
Moore's Law. It's going to be twice as many as we expected it to be. Because these people are microprocessors. As long as Steadfast, as long as the games end before it's light outside, I think it's a good deal. And well, looking we might get that way is game number 3 of this semifinals. It's all loaded on up. Let's get it.
Yes, let's. Spawning down in the bottom left position, representing Kites of Gaming. It is the red Zerg player. Give it up for Sola.
And his opponent in the upper right. In the blue, the man with a passion for lemons. He is ZEST.
Yes, he is.
Probably the weakest one of the night, but you know what? It's fine. Totally fine. Nuke Mall. So Alpha X is the channel. My name is BeoMulf. I'm the one I'm actually casting this. But yeah, I'm being told that I'm a vampire. I'm a true vampire, right? Because I'm afraid of the light outside. Yes, I will burn.
Yes.
I will. I mean, have you seen how pale I am? Like, I wouldn't be surprised. Funny story about that, though. We want to talk about vampires. My father is like the world's worst vampire. He's just about as pale as I am, and he's allergic to garlic. I'm not convinced he shows up in mirrors, but he is actually he is allergic to fresh garlic. But he's also allergic to red meat. There's a thing going around on the East Coast with Lone Star ticks. I think it's Lone Star ticks, where if you have a certain blood type and they eat a certain thing, it'll bind with your hemoglobin in a certain way. Where if you eat any sort of red meat, your body will think that will just treat it as an autoimmune effect. So you become allergic to red meat. So that means no more steak, no more pork, no more camel, no more llama, no more venison, nothing like that. So again, he can't have red meat, but he's allergic to garlic. World's worst vampire.
And he can't even eat camel. What is he gonna do with his life? That's just rough.
I don't know.
Now I'm reminded of the Two Towers scene where it's like, looks like meat's back on the menu, boys, like the Uruk-hai. As they cannibalize the other orcs. And I'm just imagining that, but like 7 camels just sitting there getting like chowed down on. And they don't even care. They're just like, yeah, this is fine. I had 3 extra humps anyways.
Oh, you talked about that. Have you, I assume you've read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
I have not read it, but I have seen the movie.
Okay, so there is the bar at the end of the universe. Or the restaurant at the end of the universe. They go on in there, and not Ford Prefect, the other guy, goes on in and says, "Oh yeah, I'd like a steak." And they trot out the cow, the intelligent talking cow that lives to be butchered. And she says, "Oh, can I suggest a nice cut of my rump this evening? I have done a very good job of not working out and eating lots of butter and crust, and it is remarkably plump and fatty. It's going to be a very delicious dinner." And of course, he freaks out and does not order the steak. Oh no, he does order the steak, I think, and he says it's delicious. But that's what you have me reminded of.
True. Fair enough. We're both approaching that 4 a.m. mark, is what you're saying.
I mean, it's a good book, and you talk about camels that don't care about being eaten. Well, this cow, it encouraged itself being eaten. That was what it was bred to: A, talk, and B, desire to be eaten. So
no,
that's what we got on in here.
It wasn't bread; it was meat.
Okay, that's the 4 a.m. joke, Steadfast. That's crossing a line. Sure. But we will have an Oracle on top of this Void Ray opener, and it's kind of interesting, right? Because I believe this was Stargate into Warp Gate, and I always expect to see an Oracle first if you go Stargate first, right? Because then you take advantage of having that Stargate done by about 3:30, which means you kind of get the best possible timing there of the Oracle into the main base. But of course, if you get the Void Ray first, the Oracle is a lot slower, right? So because Void Rays take a little bit longer to build. So I always do expect to see that Oracle first, but I guess you just get the Void Ray to knock down scouting and to be defensive. But hey, Steadfast, it's the build.
It surely is. Double Stargate. Ooh, and the Oracle gonna find 2, maybe 3, maybe 4 drones? 3 drones?
I think you mean
You know what the most disappointing part about that? No WCS game heart, so I actually have to count manually. And you know, they don't talk me to pay about the game. They talk me to pay about the what was I saying? About the game. Yep.
Yeah, there we go. You know, so what it's for every hour of sleep deprivation, or every some hours of sleep deprivation, it's equivalent to 1 beer, something like that. So that like someone did a study like in terms of mental impairment for sleep deprivation versus like alcohol impairment. But I know that's true because, you know, there have been times in my life where I've, you know, had like 2 hours of sleep a night for a week, and by day 4 or 5, literally everything is funny. You know, a friend, I did this thing back in high school where we designed a mission to Mars in a week, and we were just given enough information to kind of realize that we couldn't do it. But by the end of that week, you know, we're on a bus leaving Langley, NASA Langley, and literally the bus jostling, like anything existing is funny. Because you're that tired and you're also done. So you just get that catharsis plus the fact that you've had 16 hours of sleep over the last week, and you're just like, ah! Ha 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 ha! Yeah. So we're not there yet. Luckily, we're not there yet. Zest and Solar are certainly not there yet because it's well, it's like mid-afternoon their time, I think, at this point.
Yeah. So I guess what? I have like 4 hours of sleep deprivation right now. So that puts me at 12 beers in.
Sounds like you got a lot of tolerance.
Oh.
My chat is saying that this is actual science. And they're not wrong. Although actually I'm seeing a lot of people saying this is just a suggestion for me to get a beer. Also true. I would get one, but I'm casting and it's also 4 in the morning, and I feel like that's almost like day drinking at this point. You know?
4 a.m. is actually a very awkward time where you're like, am I staying up too late or am I waking up too early?
Oh.
It can be either.
Hey, hold that thought. We got a Swarm Host build coming in from Solar here in this game, and this is something that he has been enjoying, been enjoying doing a good bit, right? It's a Queen Walk. You get some roaches, but you get like 12 odd Swarm Hosts, and that's how you break the third base. It's a pretty cool build. We see him do it occasionally. It seems to be pretty powerful. Now we're gonna have to see whether he actually wants to walk the Queens, because of course there is a 4th base done. He is mining off of it. He does have 70 workers. And actually, I love this. Zest, he's going to get a little bit aggressive here. At the very least, he will clean up some creep. Ideally, maybe he would bleed off some locusts before the initial push, but this has not been scouted, Steadfast. And that's going to be a little bit of a problem, because you kind of want to be able to scout that this is coming on. This drop is going to be nice, though. It will force Solar back for the time being. And these Swarm Hosts are on the map, but they have done nothing yet.
No, they have not. Not yet. And nice little War Prism harass. Oh, it's actually going to scout the Swarm Hosts too. That is a really, really great find for Zest. And that's going to cause him to throw down a second Robo. Okay.
And there we go. Okay, so it's going to be for Disruptors here. That makes a lot of sense. If you just get Disruptor shots on the Locust, you're totally fine. But the Robo Bay is on the way. It's not anywhere being near done yet. And, well, the good news here is it is far away from where the ensuing action is going to be. But, oh... no, he's not going to be able to get anything. It is far away from where the ensuing action is going to be, so it's going to be difficult for Solar to snipe that Robo-Bay with things. And of course, Storm is done, so we're going to see Storms on top of these Locusts, and that's going to scare away the first round. And there we go. So 3 Storms are going to land. Nothing, really, yes. Zest is not going to lose anything here whatsoever. And you've got to remember, when we're looking at these Swarm Host styles, the number we're looking for is about 150, 160. When the Protoss player is able to get up to that kind of level of army supply. I love this actually. Zest, he's gonna cut off the retreat here, so he's gonna be able to get on top of things. And there is, of course, no locusts here whatsoever. So this army is tailor-made to annihilate this army from Solar outside of everything. The Biles are not even gonna land. So now, yes, there is Locust, but the entire army that is meant to defend these Swarm Hosts is gonna go down.
I actually don't know if that was good for Zest though. He lost a lot of power units right there. Oh, that's I mean, he like you said, he fought about as well as he could without the Locusts, but he lost a lot of Archons and Solar. He still has a lot of supply.
He does, but we now have 2 Disruptors on the map, 2 more on the way. When did you get a Hydrogen? Yeah, we got a Roach Hydra push coming on in here behind this, and that requires a different response. Now, how many Storms do we have? Okay, Disruptors are going to go on out here, going to pick off a little bit of stuff. Oh, no, they're going to get a lot of Hydra. That's going to be really nice. There's no Hydra speed out. These Disruptors, they're not incredible just yet. You want to get them on top of the Locusts, and Zest only has 1 Disruptor shot left. There we go. It's going to get a lot of these Locusts. That is the move he's looking for.
That was a very, very nice one. Oh, that Void Ray staying alive with 4 HP. It's up to 7 kills now. And, oh, this War Prism is going to come on in here. Drops the Immortals in. A lot of charge lots rushing forward. And this is what Zest is looking for. He is looking to chase this army all the way the heck back home. Did we see... Oh.
Nope,
never
that
mind.
is just the retreat path.
Yeah, that's just the Swarm host retreating. They have not recharged the Locust yet. They will have them very shortly. Nidus Worm is coming down here. Nidus Network, I should say. But Solar has not gotten the damage that he needed to done.
That he has not. Zest now feeling safe enough to get a 4th base. Going and Blink behind this. I kind of would expect to see him continue to go on to that Sky Toss tech. But, no, he's just going to go on into Blink behind this, get himself a little bit more maneuverability. Oh, he's going to get a lot of the Swarm hosts! Oh, 1. Okay. I guess 1's a lot. Yes.
And
oh, go ahead.
More importantly, he forces out that Locust Wave, and it achieves nothing. 1 Zealot. 1 Zealot, and it does nothing. That is a huge, huge win right there for Zest.
You know, it's also huge, Steadfast. The sheer amount of charge loss that we have on the map. They're going to find, well, they're going to find the entire Protoss army, but more importantly, Solar's got a lot of Banelings. And yes, there are some Archons. There are 3 Archons on the map, 3 Immortals, but there are 26 charge lots, and they don't do all that well against Banelings. Let's put it that way. Now, of course, Baneling speed's not all that yet done, and Banelings, or I should say Disruptors, are very good against Banelings, as now we do have, of course, that the Nidus is going to get on up here, and it will be able to launch a bunch of Locusts on the 3rd base, so that's, yeah, a bunch of Swarm modes. Going to go back on in, try to get something done onto that 4th base there of Zest. That 4th base should just die. And now we're hitting that weird point where the Protoss player has held the aggression, right? They have taken almost no damage, but actually it doesn't matter here, as this is a massive army here from Zest coming on in. He has equal army supply. The Banelings are going to try to make the connections they can, but it will not matter here. Chargeless coming in from the side, holding their attack until the very last moment. Disruptors blowing everything into the sky, including Solar's hopes and dreams of reaching these grand finals. Steadfast, it looks like we're going to be Innovation versus Zest. Best of 5 coming up next.
Zest saying, I am best.